Christ is risen from the dead. We are one with him again. Come awake, come awake, come and rise up from the grave.
We live in a pretty immediate culture. Everything's instant. Our sense of gratification is kind of pretty quick now. If things don't happen in under a minute or a couple of minutes, we start to get really antsy. I just got a cup of coffee, and it's this really unique thing. It's called hand-poured brewing, and they take a cone filter and they fill it with like really good coffee, and then they kind of pour in a little bit of water. Well, they wet the filter first, and then they pour in a little bit of water, and then you just kind of wait, and it all drips down through this single hole, you know, like most coffee filters do. But instead of it like pushing a massive amount, or like, you know, like a thing of instant coffee, you have to wait, and you have to wait to drink its wonderful goodness. And I think the thing about our life right now in our lives is that we don't have to wait a lot in life, and yet I think that we're missing out on a huge opportunity. There's a space in between the cross and the resurrection of Jesus. It was only a day, but for his followers, you know, I can't imagine how long that day felt. You spent 3 years with this man, of course, unless you're his mother, and then you spent 33, and you've seen him change, go from being a boy who even as a boy was so wise that he was teaching people in the temple, to all of a sudden now 33 years later he was healing people, raising people from the dead, the blind are seeing, the deaf are hearing, you know, Roman centurions are having faith, and then all of a sudden it's just all gone and he's dead. And there's this period of 24 hours and there isn't even really a lot of information about it, and it's probably because nothing happened. So Jesus dies on a Friday, and the next day it's just another day, but he's gone. And there's no indication that he's coming back. And there's no kind of bumper sticker theology to really kind of help the pain. It's just there. And I think a lot of times in life right now, we avoid those moments as much as possible. And we try to find shortcuts. We try to find ways to have instant experiences instead of just waiting. And but imagine then after that day, which probably felt like years, of the next day, and you're all gathered in this place for fear of persecution, and all of a sudden people just start coming in. You know, Mary Magdalene shows up, she's like, I saw him, he's alive, the tomb is empty. Imagine what that must have felt like, the combination of anxiety and excitement and fear and you know, the kind of hope where you're like, I don't even want to hope this is real because I can't even handle the letdown if it's not. And so I don't know if there's areas in your life right now where you're just kind of sick of waiting and you're trying to find easy solutions, or you're trying to find quick ways around the waiting. But I want to encourage you today that to wait, to let those moments sit like they do on this Saturday between Good Friday and Easter Sunday. And don't just go back to business as usual. Don't just go back to, oh, well, it was a Good Friday and Jesus died and I'm just going to spend a day and go to the mall or just do whatever I do. Just give yourself some space to wait and to let God move. And I think you'll be surprised at what he can do with a little bit of time when we do.